Good morning, all. Welcome to Anand Morning Commodity and Currency Podcast. Let's begin with precious metal update. The positive momentum in yellow metal remains intact, supported by a modest pullback in the US dollar and lower US Treasury bond yields. Gold traders will keep an eye on the US housing data on Tuesday, including building permits and housing starts. Technically, gold pivot is around 62,203. If gold surpasses 62,521, it has potential to reach to the levels of 62,711. Conversely, if it drops below 62,061, we might see downside to the levels of 61,871. Let's go ahead with base metal update. Copper to remain range bound, tracking moves in dollar amid housing data due later in the day to be looked ahead for further direction. Overall, with demand slowdown and general economic growth worries remains a bigger concern for copper in short-term perspective, where copper prices may trend lower in the later part of the year. Technically, copper pivot is around 723. If copper breaks above 725, we might see upside to the levels of 728. Conversely, if it drops below 717, we might see downside to the levels of 714. Continuing with energy update, the geopolitical triggers increase risk appetite and efforts by the OPEC giants to curb supplies has brought in a temporary relief rally in oil prices, which might be extended by another $3 to $4 per barrel. However, signs of slowing demand and rising non-OPEC supplies might keep the upside in the prices. Technically, crude pivot is around 6,081. If crude oil rises above 6,322, we might see upside to the levels of 6,488. And if it drops below 5,952, we might see downside to the levels of 5,786. On currency front, while USD INR broke the 83 support yesterday, there is no strong downward momentum yet for the pair. In the short term, rupee remains at an advance as the dollar yield move has gotten completely reversed. Today range for USD INR would be 83 to 83.15. Major events scheduled today are US housing starts, US building permits, Euro final core CPI year on year. That's all for today's podcast. Have a successful trading day. Thank you.